been here. You want a break? You want a break?
It's so funny.
Okay. All right. Let me find that. Oh, okay. Yeah. You want to discuss that a lot,
We're considering adding on page 15, we are going with the special approval use. We need to add the wind energy facility to special approval use in the farming district. There's a listing alphabetically of things allowed. If we're going to consider wind turbines, we need to add the letter T, wind energy facility. I'll make a motion on page 15, we add also amending section 413, special approval uses by adding T, wind energy facility.
Second. Moved in second. Discussion? No discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
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 Opposed, same. Motion passed. Did it go away? I assume that it's written in.
Your handwritten one?
Yeah, my hand. Here it is.
That'll come back, huh?
Okay. Okay. Now, where is it? Oh, you got it. I've got, you got that thing.
You understand, Clint? We're done.
Okay, so I got one other
break
thing.
and then.
I got one other thing. Let's have a motion to pick up anything that we might have forgot. Any minor changes?
Wouldn't that be when we accept the whole order?
We could.
As written?
We could, yeah. Then let's entertain a motion to accept this as written. Let's entertain a motion on this. You guys hear me? I'm sorry, I'm not speaking loud again. I want to entertain a motion to accept this ordinance.
With the changes we incorporated this
Yes.
evening. I second it.
I don't know.
I don't know what the motion is.
Oh.
He was
I get that
asking
motion.
for.
Oh, you're asking for it.
You gonna read it?
I would move that we approve the ordinance as written with all changes and corrections.
And you second
I
it?
will second it.
Do we need to add the language for passing it on to Region 2 and the Township Board?
No, because we gotta do that anyway.
Yeah, Region 2 is an automatic. Technically, you could say, we recommend to the Township Board to amend the zoning ordinance, but it's more of a technicality than anything. So the motion he's made is fine.
Okay.
Kind of
Any discussion? Be a roll call?
No,
Any-
we pass this on right now.
Yes. You ready to pass it on?
well, yes, for discussion first.
Yeah, I asked for discussion.
The word without. Okay,
With all these changes.
all these changes. Okay.
ready?
Yes.
I got my
Okay.
discussion first.
Okay.
Okay. From committee.
Get louder.
Wind turbines are a farming issue in a farming district and should be determined by the farming community, not by non-farming residents, both within and outside the farming district. Farmers within the farming district should be our priority. Zoning ordinance decision-making process is not a popularity contest. If the majority of the residents in a farming district are non-farmers, the decision should be based on the minority. That is why there is a farming district, to protect the farmers from non-farming influence. If the nuclear power plants in Monroe County needed to win a popularity contest, would they have been built? If all the livestock barns from our township needed to win a popularity contest, would they have been built? Or would the neighbors have said, I don't want those smelly cattle, hogs, chickens in our farming district. They might lower my property value. The farming community has an acronym pronounced GAMP, which stands for Generally Accepted Agriculture Management Practices, which means if farmers do what farmers normally do, you cannot stop them. So if farmers working his land on a dry, windy day and the dust is crossing your property line, so be it. If the noise from a diesel equipment crosses your property line, or if his grain dryer that is running 24 hours a day bothers you at night, you cannot make him stop. I believe wind turbines will be the next GAN. If you want to do any kind of an economic development in our township that did not need a large amount of water, did not need sewer, did not pollute, and did not affect the river rating, a wind turbine would fit right in. The state of Michigan wants 1,500 wind turbines approved by 2015, and then another 1,500 by 2025. If we set our restrictions so high that turbines cannot be built, I feel the state will come in and set their own restrictions. Their setback is currently 1.5 times the height. Ours is 3 times. Approximately 12 years ago, there was an application for a cell phone tower near Humphrey Highway and 223. The neighbors didn't want it. Who wants to look out the windows and see a cell phone tower? There's not a need for a cell phone tower here. And besides, I think the cell phone tower will lower our property value. The application was denied. Approximately 4 or 5 years later, another application for cell phone tower 1 mile to the west was considered. The state of Michigan came out with a directive. If there's a need and it benefits the general public, you are not to zone against it. The state fall rate for cell phone tower is 1.1 times the height. There was a need for a cell phone tower? Yes. Would it benefit the general public? Yes. The application was approved. You can build a 200-foot cell phone tower just about anywhere, as long as it's not 220 feet from falling on something. Now let's parallel cell phone towers with wind turbines. Is there a need? I think so. I'm confident everyone here has electricity in their homes. Does it benefit the general public? A single wind turbine creates enough electricity for 5,000 homes. So yes, I would say it benefits the general public. So the wind turbine fulfills the need, electricity, and creates electricity for 5,000 homes. There is a need, it does benefit the general public. We should not zone against them. The problem I have is the way their detrimental effects on health problems. Dee and Dar and I have been friends for a long time. Dee and I went to school together. Mark, Lynn, and I have bowled on the same team for several years. Our children are friends. How can I support something that will affect their health and possibly damage our friendships? Or is it a conflict of interest if I base my decisions on whether it benefits my personal friends? It's a position I don't want to be in. I've had this position for 11 years, and I'm not sure if I want to continue, if I might lose my good friends. My term is up at the end of the year, and my dilemma is, do I pursue other things that I enjoy or are passionate about, or continue in the position of the Planning Commission Secretary? It's a tough choice. In case you want to consider the Secretary position, it's a non-paying position. Every minute spent doing the duties of the Secretary is a minute donated to this township. Floyd and Crane have a great-grandson with special needs living in the house they lived on Grosvenor for some 50 years. Should we prevent spinning and flickering of the wind turbines by limiting them altogether? I wonder what Mr. Crane would have said if I told him what he could or couldn't build on his farm. Being tactful was not in Floyd's DNA. I'm very familiar with a special needs child. One of my adopted sons had a very allergic reaction to peanuts and anything baked with peanut products. Keeping him safe at home was a challenge, but taking him into the public, school, church, sporting event was just about impossible. Should I have gone to the township and asked for a zoning ordinance banning peanut snacks and all baking with peanut products to keep Justin safe? My son's health was my responsibility, not the township's. This ordinance isn't perfect. There's part of it I don't agree with, but it's a lot more protective of our citizens than the majority of the ordinance we review from other townships. I went to the Van Wert, Paulding, Ohio area. We're in the middle of erecting 133 turbines. The one we observed up close was turning in the breeze, and the noise of the generator was drowned out by the breeze and the chirping of the two birds on the lines above us. Finally, wind turbines in relationship to our current ordinance and our master plan 2030. Page 1 of our ordinance book under purposes, 13A, to meet the needs of the state's citizens for food, fiber, energy, and other natural resources, places of residence, recreation, industry, trade, service, and other uses of land. To condense it down, it reads, to meet the needs of the state's citizens for energy. And this was written almost 40 years ago. Wind energy does meet the purpose of our current ordinance. Also, in the same purpose it states in 1.3, and to promote public health, safety, and welfare. So does the flicker noise of a wind turbine conflict with 1.3E? In my opinion, the way this ordinance is written, it does not. As it pertains to Primar Township Master Plan 2030 goals, it states from the book. 1, I believe wind turbines qualify as the unique agricultural capability. 2, I believe it preserves ag land. If farmers can lease their land for wind turbines, they are less likely to sell their land for new homes. 3, avoid conflicts with residential areas. With a special approval use for the placement of wind turbines and our recommended setbacks, I feel we avoid conflict with residential areas. Wind turbines are a farming issue in a farming district and should be determined by the farming district. I support this ordinance as written.
Any other comments from this board? Roll call.
Deb?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Perry?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Brenda? Yes. Dale?
Yes.
Pass unanimous. Okay, we can take a break or we can have public comment.
Let's take 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Take 10.
All right, 10.
You get paid for golf,